and here. All right, so now it's time for us to start cutting out the yoke. So this is how the yoke will be cut. So the yoke will be cut asymmetrically. Okay, what I mean is what you see me do right here. That is exactly how the yoke is going to be. So this is the yoke, and we have two options for this yoke, depending on the one that will be more easy for you. The two options we have for this yoke is to separate this yoke. So our mesh, this is going to be the mesh, this is going to be the lace, okay, with beautiful flower patches. But I know sometimes it might be difficult for beginners or those who are new to this industry to join this and this together to have a perfect yoke. So I'm going to make this very easy for you. So this is what we are going to do for easy sewing. So for easy sewing, I'm going to trace out what I have on this, and I'll be telling you what you are going to do with it at the end of the day. So this is the yoke line. I want to trace it out exactly the way it is right here. So this is my yoke line, as you can see. So I'm seeing through it, and I'm going to trace it out the way it is right there. Now this is the neckline, so make sure it does not shift. This is the neckline going into the shoulder seam line, okay, and it goes back and runs out back to the yoke line. So this is it, okay. So once that is traced out, I'm going to cut and tell you how you sew this yoke line and have a perfect effect. Alright, so I'm done tracing it out, and this is what I have right here. So if you look at what we have right here right now, this is going to be the flower yoke, the flower or lace part of our yoke. So what you are going to do, if this is your mesh, the mesh you are working with right here, okay, so this mesh I'm seeing right here that is used on the thumbnail is a very quality, tool. It's a very quality. Please, if you are going to buy a tool in the market, try and stretch the tool. If you stretch it this way, it does not tear. You stretch it this way, it does not tear. It's a good tool, especially this original skin tone mesh in the market. Please go for original skin tone for this particular dress we are making right here. Because on the thumbnail right there, if you look at where we have the yoke on the right side, you notice that it looks as if there's no yoke. But that is an exact skin tone net. It's an exact skin tone mesh which is placed as a single yoke. What I mean by single yoke is, you can see this is a single yoke. I'm not doubling it like we do. If you double it, we will not have that effect. So if you place on your body, you notice it matches exactly on your body. That is the skin tone net. And the quality one, like the one I have here, is actually quality. Just try and look for quality skin tone net mesh so it does not tear at the end of the day. So I'll be placing only one single piece of it. One single piece of it. And I'll place my mesh on it. And I will cut. Okay, so I will cut. So once I cut this, adding my seam allowances where necessary, as you know how, this is going to be full mesh, full of this mesh. The whole of this, I'm going to cut everything. So now I've assumed I've cut my mesh, one single piece all. I'll now bring the tool. Okay, that is the lace fabric I want to work with, that has the flower patches, as you can see on the thumbnail. So if this is the lace that has the flower patch, I will place this on that lace and cut and add my necessary seam allowance as well. Okay, so I'm going to add 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Okay, so when I'll be sewing it, adding my 0.5 here, I'll just simply tuck it in, okay, and top stitch on top of it neatly. Just top stitch on top of it neatly. Okay, so it becomes part of this yoke for you. So this yoke you are seeing here is going to be like this when you'll be sewing it into the bustier. I believe this explanation is understood. So by the time you assemble your bustier, you'll be having this already top stitched on top with the beautiful flower patches as you are seeing right there on the thumbnail. This is going to be a single piece of yoke that looks as if it's your body, because it's a skin tone net, and you sew into your yoke as you know how to sew your yoke. Okay, so if you don't know how to sew your perfect yoke, we have a beautiful yoke sewings on Telegram. So you can also join us on our WhatsApp group. I'll be dropping the link on the description box below. You can join us on WhatsApp and Telegram to learn how to sew the different kinds of yokes. Okay, we have our sewing tutorials right there on Telegram. So what I'm doing now is to cut the over bust line. I'm going to cut out the darts because we don't need the darts. So once I cut out the darts right here, we can now proceed to close up the bust dart. Okay, so this is what you are going to have, and I'm going to close up my bust dart accordingly. So the bust dart, okay, so we have the bust dart closed, and alright, so that is it, and that is what we have, as you can see. So that is the front, and this is the yoke. So by the time you have this together, you now sew into this. Okay, so you can see the replacement of the dart makes it possible for everything to match up. You can see it matching up on the armhole line. So I'm going to set this aside right now, and I want to talk about the back, how the back is going to look like. So the back is actually a very simple piece. So we already have the neckline, so I will advise you go in and pick up the neckline measurement for your mandarin collar. So if you don't know how to make a mandarin collar, we have a detailed video right on this channel on how to make a mandarin collar. So this is it, and next is to contour your back contour line. I love to go with 0.75 for perfect contouring, and I'll connect it back to the neck line. So that will make me retake my measurement for my back from that point. So my bust circumference is 40 divided by 4 is 10. My waist circumference is 36 divided by 4 is 9. Okay, so I'm going that less. I love to go that less these days, and at the end of the day I still get what I want. So for the back I go that less because the back is almost flat. Okay, but if you still want your dart, it's okay. You can create a princess that you can close up your dart. Whatever, closing up and taking off the dart gives the same result. So I prefer to cut it off at that point. So for the back, that is if you need a yoke to the back. If you need a yoke to the back, you can place your skin tone mesh all through for your back. You can also decide to use your lace to design it. So the back is not always an issue. Okay, many a times it does not actually give too much issues like that. So I would want to create the back starting from this is our bust chest line. So I'll just go up 2.5 from the chest line. That was where I started off that line. So from the chest line 2.5, so I'll be having my back neckline on this line. So on this line I can decide to create my yoke anyhow I want to create it. Okay, but remember we have a mandarin collar here, so anything we are creating right now boils down to what we have on the collar neckline. So I might decide to do this. This is what I love to do. From this point I will create my neckline, and from here I'll just make a button loop of 0.5 for it, and then you can design your loop. You can make your loop run from that point. You can make your design run, that is keep this part open, that is if you want, and it has a button loop and still have your mandarin collar. So you can just do whatever you feel you like to do for the back. So I'll just cut the back. The back is not a problem. So if I'm cutting on the contour line. Then I'll be taking it into the yoke line, into the neckline where we have the mandarin collar connection. Into the armhole. Then I'll go by the side, as you can see. That is that, people. So my zipper is going to be here. This is where I'm going to have my zip, and I'll have my button here. Okay. Then I will cut through this line, and that becomes the yoke and the main body. So you can choose whatever material fabric you feel like choosing or using for this particular yoke design. So people, that is how we come to the end of this tutorial, and I believe this tutorial section is helpful to you. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends. Drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Thank you for coming. See you in the next class. Bye.